here.
Hi guys, Middleburg Fish Rockers again. I'm excited to be here in Arrowrand today on a Sunday afternoon with my familia. I've got my cousin Chevron again once with me, as I mentioned in part 2. So this is actually part 3 of our video. So right now, before I set up my rod, we're actually gonna cook a meal for ourselves. So we're looking at an early supper today, making a lekker mutton curry, as I said, but Durban style. Okay, so just to show you the ingredients here today, we bought a 1 kilo of lamb. We got a 1 kilo lamb there. Ali just showed them the braai stand. Our fire is going on. We want it nice and smoky. Yeah, so we got our pot on the braai. Obviously our oil is just getting a bit warm there. We got our 1 kilo meat. We got our up-to-date potato, guys. Not just any potatoes. This is all the way from Durban, transported by myself. Up-to-date potatoes. You know, if it's not up-to-date, the curry is not good enough. Okay. Yeah, in this container here, I got my tomatoes. Obviously, I've prepared everything at home before I came through. I've got my tomatoes in there to make a lekker bunny gravy in there. I've got my masala. So my masala is not just original masala that you buy once off in the store. I prefer to mix my masalas up. So what I've done here is I've mixed my Kashmiri special, extra special masala with my Ali, what was the other one? Nagyas. With Nagyas, yeah. Okay, so we bought this from Nagyas, a JHP, Johannesburg. When she was down there visiting some family, so we got Nagyas masala mixed up with Kashmiri extra special. So that's my masala mix. I've got my onions prepared. As you can see, I like them long ways. Okay, I've got my ginger and garlic crushed freshly at home, homemade ginger and garlic. I naturally don't like to buy mixed ginger and garlic, so I prefer to buy them garlics whole and crush the cloves in. I've got my salt, which is ready. Okay, so together with my onions and obviously my other stuff, I've got my biryani mix here. I've got my curry leaf, I've got my bay leaf, I've got my clove, I've got my jeera seeds, I've got some cinnamon stick, which I pulled up from the biryani. So guys, I think this is going to be an awesome chow. You know, I wish you were here to taste this here. I've cooked for other events in the past. Not bragging about myself, but I've got comments that my food is quite good. Obviously, as a cook, you will never know until other people give you these comments. But yeah, I believe it's going to be quite a good meal. We actually tried for unsliced bread to make some bunnies today, but we couldn't find them in Spa, in Midwater Mall. But yeah, we're going to try. We've got a normal loaf of bread, and we're going to do this here. Okay, my potatoes will be peeled shortly. So yeah, as we're doing this, let's go through it, guys. So firstly, I'm going to put my onions through. As you can hear, whoa, what a beautiful sizzle. Not too hot, not too low. Just the way I like it. Okay, so I'm just separating the onions here. So while my onions is getting fried with this beautiful temperature, if it's too high, your onions are going to get done very quick. I would normally take my curry leaf. I've got one bay leaf here. I'm just going to break it up into a few pieces just to separate it around the curry. Okay, I'm going to put my curry leaf in. Beautiful. I've got some jeera seeds. I've used all this for my biryani mix, as you can see, guys. Beautiful, beautiful. So what we're actually doing here is we're roasting it. We're going to get the nice sensation and the smell of those ingredients whilst we're cooking. Okay, so I'm just going to give it a nice mix here. Make sure that everything is mixed in properly and equally. Okay, so I'm going to let this just fry for a bit. So normally how I would do it is my onion might get lightly brown. The moment it's lightly brown, I'm going to throw in my meat. My style is a bit different from everyone else. I know you guys would normally put the masala and fry it in with your onions and your curry leaf the way I have it now. So I'm actually not using meat that I'm using Durban, so I'm just trying it out. So my next best style is to actually throw the meat in with the ginger and garlic and let it cook for a bit. And then once I taste it and I see that it's a bit soft, I will throw in my masala. And yeah, let it fry a bit. Once that is done, then I'll start putting my other ingredients, like for example my tomatoes and stuff. But yeah, we'll get back to you shortly. Thank you. Getting ready. As you can see, guys, I told you that we have 1 kilo meat. Yeah, Ali just showed them the onions getting nice and light and brown. So we did mention the ingredients early on. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to throw in my lovely meat here. 1 kilo of meat. Okay, so while my meat is in, I'm going to throw in my ginger and garlic. Throw in my lovely ginger and garlic, freshly grounded one, all the way from Middleburg. Okay. As you can see, guys, I'm throwing my ginger and garlic. I'm going to now stir it up with all my fried ingredients, my onions, my biryani mix, my ginger and garlic. So as I said, I have a bit of a different style, gentlemen. I normally don't fry masala like most of the people would. I'm throwing my meat in with my ginger and garlic. I want it to absorb these ingredients nicely. Once my water comes out and my meat is nicely cooked, I would throw in my masala and then give it a nice fry. And then throw in my tomatoes with some water and let the gravy build up. Okay. I'm going to put my salt in. Okay, so we're using fine salt today. Okay, gonna give it a lovely mix. Okay, so I'm gonna pick my heat up on the fire a bit now. Yes, we don't want too much of stirring because too much of stirring will damage your meat. So guys, just be careful if you are using my recipe. Please don't stir too much. I'm just setting my meat in. Okay. Yeah, and as the moment I'm ready for my next ingredient, I will get back to you shortly. Thank you. Okay, hi guys. Part 3 of today in Arrowrand Dam. I've got my food sizzling in there. My mutton is busy cooking. I'm still trying to get to that finishing touch with, you know, from our Durban style curry. But whilst that is cooking, yeah, definitely I'm trying to get my rod in. So as I said yesterday, we learned a new thing with that we work with the temperature of the water. The weather is so beautiful. Ali, can you just show them a bit of the dam there? So we have a 2 pier set up. Okay, so as you can see, the dam, the water is still, there's no waves running. Yesterday we had a bit of a bugger up at Middleburg Dam where the boats, I think it's because we had bad weather for the past 3 to 4 weeks with them in Middleburg. So yesterday was an opportunity for them to run through. And obviously, yeah, the dam is free for all. I'm not complaining, but yeah, it did mess up the fishing day because when the boats and the jet skis were running through, we had a lot of waves. Which obviously upsets my line, pushing seaweed, the weeds through to my line, and obviously, yeah, I didn't have a good day there. So I know I promised you guys I was hoping for a 4.2 carp, anything between 4 kilo to 4.2, but I would have been happy for a 2 kilo, but unfortunately I had to pack up here early yesterday at around 2:30. Okay, so today I got my line in here. As you can see, I've set up my food there. I did give you guys a rundown for actually how this place looks at Arrowrand Dam. Yeah, I've got my 15-pound line with the same rod that I've said that I bought from Go Fish last week. So Go Fish is actually quite a nice, yeah, a tackle shop. So this rod combo was 329 Rand. It came with the rod. It's a 2-piece rod. It's a reel. The reel is a 15-pound line on it. It's actually great, you know. The only issue that I have is obviously you don't have your far casting distance on it, but yeah, it's worth it for the price. So I actually wanted to meet with the owner today and do a small video clip, you know, of the tackle that he's selling in the shop, but I'm sure we'll do that soon. Okay, so right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie my trays just so you guys know what's going on. So I do have 2 ready-made traces here. As you can see, one One's a plastic one, but this one's a bit light, so I'm gonna leave this aside for today. I'm gonna take my spring ready-made trays today. It's got a double hook on it. As you can see, I laid them on the cushion. So I got a double spring there, right? Ready-made is much easier. As I said, I am a startup dam fisherman. So I'm gonna get used to it, and then obviously later on I'm gonna learn how to make different styles of traces like I do on the surf. I don't have my pliers right now. So I'm just gonna snip that off. I'm just gonna snip it off with my tooth. I'm actually quite used to snipping things off with my tooth. Okay, so in order for us to make this trace over here, guys, I've got my spring trace. I've got a double hook, as you can see. It's actually quite a good trace. You know, we actually use running traces in the surf fishing as well. So as you can see, let me just show you my running trace. So yeah, it's quite well. It goes quite well. Nice running trace there. I've got my bottom hook, obviously, that goes into the mud, because dam fish obviously feeds onto the mud over there. I've got my second hook, which obviously will be floating into the water. So yeah, it's quite a nice combination. So as you can see, it's ready made. I've put my line through the loop of the line. All I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna notch it 4 times around. So I'm giving 4 knots there. Right? Simple, easy. Pull it together. I normally use my teeth just to tighten it. Okay, so what I'm gonna do just to secure it, I'm gonna make a second round there. Same principle, exact same routine. I'm gonna give it 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, use my tooth again. Okay, nice and tight, beautifully tied in. We don't want too much of our guts showing onto into the water. Obviously it distracts the fish. So yeah. As you can see, I got it slipped off nice and beautiful there. So yeah, as I did make mention, there is my spring line. As you can see, there is a ball sinker in. So it's similar to surf fishing, now not too far off. It's the first time that I'm using this actually. So I did show you guys the method of the running sinker. As you can see, it runs for a small distance back and forth. My first hook is on the top there, which keeps my bait into a floating distance in the water. My bottom hook obviously runs into the mud. Yeah, so dam fish obviously, as they're swimming in the water and they're hungry and they feed onto the water, they actually swallow the mud in. So yeah, let's go for it. So the bait that I'm using here, as you can see, gentlemen, I went to Go Fish in Middleburg, just opposite Middleburg Dam. I bought a 1.2 kilo. This is my millie bomb. So obviously it comes in as maize food. Let me just drop a bit in my hand to show you a bit of how it looks. So it looks like how you would feed chickens in your farm. Yeah, that's how the food looks. So what I'm going to do here now, just to show you how the mix is done, I need to pour a little bit of this, preferably a bucket. As I said, I'm a startup, so I don't have all the equipment ready. I don't have a fishing stand. I don't have a bucket and a cloth. I'm getting used to dam fishing, so all I did right now was actually buy a rod, the combo rod with the reel and the 15-pound line, just to, you know, on the basics. So right now I need to make a millie bomb, which actually goes into my spring with the ball sinker here. So as I squeeze this in and I make the bomb, you know, I gotta mix it with water so it comes a bit pasty. As I squeeze this and it hits the water, as I said in part 1, it will release and becomes fish food, and obviously it separates, attracting the fish towards my bait. Okay, so that's what I'm currently gonna do now. I'm gonna take a bit of water. So I'm not making too much because it's already evening, it's a Sunday afternoon. We're just gonna try our luck for the next 2 hours. Now it's a bit of a messy job, guys, but yeah, when you're into the sport, angling sport, nothing's messy, you know, it's all in the fun of the game. So yeah, so what I basically did is I put some water in. I'm mixing up my millie bomb. So as you can see, this flavor is actually caramel. Can you see the tick on the caramel flavor there? Yeah. So just remember, guys, I've bought my tackle and my ingredients or my bait from Go Fish. So yeah, I'm just gonna get ready now. I'm gonna put in my mealy bomb. Okay, so this is what I'm doing. I see the texture is not good enough for me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna add a bit more. Not too much, just slightly more. Gonna add that in. Okay, so now I'm going to actually test it in my hand and see if it will actually stick to the spring. Okay, so I think this is good enough for me. As you can see, I can roll it in my hand. It's nice and sticky, which means it's going to go into my spring ball with my ball sinker. Just mind that the hook now has got caught into the cushion. Okay, so before I put my actual bait into the hooks, I'm just gonna make sure everything is untangled. I'm just gonna make sure everything is untangled. Yeah, beautiful. I've got them back to square one. As you can see, I've untangled it. So we do have our top one floating. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to separate my top one. It's a floating bait. I'm just going to separate it from the bottom. So remember, it's got a running sinker in here. Okay, just give me a minute there, guys. Okay, I'm almost out. Okay, beautiful. So I've got my running sinker, I've got my float hook on the top, I've got my bottom hook which is going to sit in the middle of the dam. Now I'm going to take my mealy bomb. I'm obviously going to separate my line here so it doesn't get tangled up. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to separate the two hooks here. Nice and easy. So there's no complications. I'm going to keep the top hook running as your running sinker would run. And I'm going to take this bomb, as you can see, with my palm and I'm going to squash it in. All I need to do is just to get it into the groove where it will stick in. Because as I said, when it hits the water, it's going to separate, attracting fish towards your bait. Okay, so yeah, I'm using caramel flavor today. Fish is a funny thing, you know. You can go fishing on a daily basis, but yeah, I suppose it's just like us at some point, you know. You don't want to eat the same thing every day. So maybe last week I tried caramel, or yesterday I tried caramel. If nothing works out this evening, I'm obviously gonna go and get another mealy bomb with a new flavor and try out something this coming week. I'm not going to make a very big bomb, as you can see. Something small, something light, just enough because my rod is a bit small. I don't have a far casting distance in that. Okay, so my mealy bomb is ready, gents. Normally what they would do is, if you're watching other dam fishing videos, they will see that they're using some syrups that you can actually paste onto your mealy bomb. You know, it's, as I said, dam fish likes flavored stuff. There is something else that I've learned last night. So whilst I was watching some dam fishing, and this goes out to what was it, children? Freshwater Turks. Freshwater Turks, thank you. You know, we got some knowledge from you guys last night. We learned a lot about the tiger nuts. So I've been using pups, as you can see here, guys. I've got my pups from Go Fish. It's honey flavored, as you can see here. So pups is basically a small piece of corn. It's not sweet corn that you would eat, but yes, they do sell sweet corn. So yeah, guys, I know the Indians, if you are making any sweet corn at home and there's any dams around you, keep some spare for bait. It will help you out a lot for dam fishing if you do decide to go. So I'm actually placing my pup in now. So I've got a strategy that I'm trying to use here. So I've put one pup through. I'm going to put a second pup through. So as you can see, my pup is nice and fresh. T-Play, can you please give me a piece of bread there? I want to try something different. So guys, T-Play is Mr. Traveling Play, which is my cousin. I'm spending a lot of time with him here in Middleburg, just on the weekends. As I said, I'm out here for work. My future plan is obviously if there's a lot of work running in for me, I will be moving to Middleburg soon. So yeah, I'm just starting up this new channel, trying to keep myself busy, but not just busy in something that I would do it for just to make something out of myself. But yeah, it's a hobby. Fishing is a hobby for me. So what I'm doing here, guys, is I'm taking a piece of bread. I want to actually try and roll this into a shape of a worm, and actually hook it on the tip. I want to actually hook it on the tip of my hook, aside from those two pups that I have. So I think this looks good enough, eh? When it hits the water, nice and rolled, yeah. So I'm gonna take my, as you can see, guys, I got my two pups there. I'm just gonna give it two threads, as I would do with a sardine in the surf. One through there, one going the other way, letting the bottom 3/4 or halfway of this piece of bread looking as if it's a real worm into the water that is dangling. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that, guys. Two pups and a piece of bread. Mealie bomb is set. As I said, I never make a very big mealie bomb. Yeah, I've made something lighter, so you know I can get a good far cast in, or a good distance in with my cast. So on the second hook, on the floating hook, I'm just gonna leave it as I'm still deciding, you know, actually whether it's one pup or two pups. But I think I'll just put a double pup on there. Pup is looking good and fresh. I've got one. I'm putting my second pup in. Doesn't look too fresh, it's cracking a bit. So let me just throw that aside. Let me take a new pup. Okay. So yeah, I got two pups in, guys. I'm not gonna put a piece of bread. You know, fish is kind of a funny species. Just like us, you know, we want to try different things all the time. So let's try. Let's leave our first floating hook with two pups on it, our mealie bomb. And let's leave our sinking hook into the water with two pups and a piece of bread, which I've rolled into looking like a worm. Yeah, so Ellie, let's go for it. I think we got our tackle in. Let's go. If we can just show them that beautiful pier, I think we're gonna go cast on the pier today. Just want to get my line ready in here. Yeah, Ellie, yeah, you can walk with me. Just show our viewers and our subscribers a beautiful day in this dam. This is a lovely spot in here. So guys, I want to make mention again. Remember, I'm a startup dam fisherman. We're starting a channel. Not just for status, but obviously we want to learn, and obviously whatever we learn, we want to give you guys knowledge. So whenever you go out to different provinces and you do decide to go dam fishing, you have some knowledge on what you can use. I think that's the main principle behind it. But yeah, I was a surf fisherman, as I said. I'm starting to enjoy dam fishing. It's a bit of a challenge. You need to have a bit of patience. It's not easy as we would do in dam, where you can, you know, it's like your shed run where you can throw hit for hit. But yeah, I've seen guys, I've spoken to guys here in Middleburg. You can leave your line out from Friday night, going all the way to Sunday morning, and yeah, you can get your first hit. So you got to have a fisherman, as I said. I'm starting to enjoy dam fishing. It's a bit of a challenge. You need to have a bit of patience. It's not easy as we would do in dam, where you can, you know, it's like your shed run where you can throw hit for hit. But yeah, I've seen guys, I've spoken to guys here in Middleburg. You can leave your line out from Friday night, going all the way to Sunday morning, and yeah, you can get your first hit. So you got to have a bit of patience. So I think in the dam, it's more about fun, socializing with people, with family, going out, spending their time. And in the interim, between that time, you actually get to do your hobby or your sport. So this is an angling sport. We're not here to damage any fish. We're not here to kill any fish. I would love to try a carp if I do catch it, but yeah, at the end of the day, I think it's going to be more of a sport. It's going to be a catch and release. Just catch a fish, take care of it, take a picture with my family, show the catch. If we do move forward and get a bit bigger in our channel, we obviously looking for more views and supporters. Yeah, we really appreciate it. And by the way, Middleburg Fish Rockers, representing them as a founder, we want to thank you for the views so far, for subscribing, and for the support that you've given us. So let's go straight ahead to the dam. Watch it. I'm gonna just put your foot there. Your foot in the center. You can pause it. Pause it and then join. Name is Clinton. Nice to meet you. It's a lovely day here at Arrowrand Dam. So this is part 3 for me in you know, getting my dam fishing spot up and ready. As I said to the people, we call the Middleburg Fish Rockers. Yeah, so we're getting used to this here. We're trying to see the different dams, different views, trying to get some subscribers in. So what would you say about today on a Sunday? Today is the 31st of August, correct?
Yes.
31st of August 2025. We got Andre here fishing at the dam. It's around, let me just pull out my phone and check the time now. It's around 6 o'clock, 1800. Okay. Andre, would you say this time at 1800 is a good time for fishing?
Yeah, this dams in Middleburg is night dams.
Night dams. Okay, so you say our chances are much higher if we stay throughout the night?
Yeah.
Okay. And what type of bait do you use, Andre?
No,
what are you currently fishing for?
I'm just fishing now for bass and carp.
Bass and carp, okay.
So the best on this dam is what I've heard. It's white floats, plain white.
Okay.
And then fruity flavors.
Fruity flavors. Okay. So currently, Andre, would you say that I have the right tackle on this rod? So I've been here for the past 3 weeks, right?
Yes.
So I've been to Go Fish. I've bought this rod. So the owner of Go Fish tells me that, you know, this rod is all the way from Australia.
Okay.
It was a combo deal for 329 rand. It came with a 15-pound line. As you can see, it's light blue. I've chosen on my own choice. I've taken obviously a ready-made trace here with a double hook. So obviously your first hook is a floating hook and your bottom one goes into the mud. So I've tried something different, you know, just out of curiosity. So I've taken my first hook and I put a double pip in there, which is banana flavor. My bottom hook, which will sink into the mud. Obviously carp obviously swallows into mud, you know, feeding for themselves. And at the end of these hooks, I've rolled up a piece of bread, trying to look like a bit of a worm. Would you say that this could work?
Yeah.
Okay. So does dam fish, could I put a piece of popcorn and would it work? Yeah. Okay, excellent. So I'm not quite far off, right?
No, you're not
so I think my idea here is brilliant. So my Millie Bomb, I watched a couple of videos last night. I was watching freshwater turks, which I'm actually following just to get into the groove of dam fishing.
Yes.
I see that he uses tiger nuts.
Yeah, specimen angling.
Yeah, so I see he's a bit professional, so I'm a startup, right? I've actually tried to go to a place today, but everywhere was closed in Middleburg. But would you say that this mini bomb flavor, which is caramel with a scent of honey, is there a possibility of attracting fish?
Yeah, any attraction you put in the water will
excellent.
help you. So, but me normally use plain and then I
Excellent. I see you fishing here the reef here, right?
Yeah,
is there a special reason for that? Are you fishing for a specific type of species? Or?
Yeah, on this road I fish for bass.
Okay, so you're fishing for bass right now. Okay, and I see that, sorry, can I just disturb you there? I see you got a piece of, is this a lure?
Yes.
Sorry, I almost thought it was a piece of the weed. Ali? Okay, so this is a lovely lure, guys. As you can see, this lure looks like a lizard. It's a rubber lizard.
That's
obviously
watermelon flavor.
Watermelon flavor. Yes. So watermelon flavor lure. Is fishing for bass. So bass obviously chases after insects in the water. Mostly insects in the water. So as they see that Andre here now throws this line in and he starts reeling in, this lure starts moving into the water as if it's a real lizard. They will come to swallow it, and then there he goes. That is the word for the day. So yeah, that's what Andre is fishing for. Andre, I'm gonna try for, would you say that my trace is good enough for a carp?
Yes, I also use those.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, Andre, for your time.
My pleasure.
Just to let you know that we are, I'm using my tackle from Go Fish in Middleburg town. Just opposite the not Middleburg town, sorry. Let me correct myself. Just opposite the Middleburg Mall. Is that correct? Okay, I'm so new here, and it's just my third week. So just opposite the Middleburg Mall, yeah, we're using Go Fish at the moment. So this is my first rod. This is my first tackle from them. This is my first bait, my pup and my mini bomb flavored. So yeah, I will see how things go, and then we'll take it from there. Thank you, Andre, for your time. Go well. I wish you all the luck. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, Ali, I'm gonna cast my line in. As I said, you know my mini bomb is on. I've got a double hook there with pups. My bottom hook has a double pup with also a piece of thread. Okay. So we're gonna cast the left here of Andre, not too far away. The water is nice and deep. Yeah. So now all we have to do is just monitor our rod. Is that correct, Andre? Okay. I'm gonna leave my drag on. And guys, let's hope if we do catch something, you can follow us on YouTube. Don't forget, Middleburg Fish Rockers. Thank you very much. You can see our mutton curry is here. I threw in my masala now, my Kashmiri extra special. I'm just gonna fry it a bit with the meat. Give it a nice stir so that all the meat gets the flavor of the masala in. Yeah, so we're gonna leave it maybe about a minute. Get a lovely fry, and then shortly I'm gonna throw my tomato in. Okay, as you can see, whoa, looking beautiful. We don't want our masala to burn. We're gonna give it a nice stir. As the masala settles to the bottom, we don't want it to get burnt. I hope the color is looking good for you guys. As you can see on the channel, this is Durban style mutton curry. Yes, I'm going to leave my spoon here. I'm going to throw my tomatoes in. I think it should be fried enough, so I'm just going to sprinkle my tomatoes nice and easy. Give it a nice stir. Okay, so my tomato is nice and mixed up in the curry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of water and let the gravy hit the lights. I'm just going to add a little bit of water in, just to give it a nice set of gravy. Alright. Give it a nice light stir. Okay, so my potatoes are going to go in as well. Lovely up-to-date potatoes. I'm just going to poke them in. So, for those of you that don't know, if you put too much of water, potato takes much longer to cook. They basically cook best in steam. So try not to put too much of water into your curry. Place them on the top, close your lid, and let them steam in nicely, and just soak in that gravy in. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see how it looks now, we'll get back to you shortly once it's done and we put our garnishing on. We will see you shortly. Thank you very much.